In subclass object, do you have superclass members memory? Student S1 equal to new student. When I write S1 variable memory created, student class members memory available. Inside student class, it's a superclass, person class, it's a superclass, object. Reference 10. After memory created from bottom to top, subclass to superclass, memory non-static variables memory allocated from top to bottom. First memory constructed, then non-static variables memory created. Here object class doesn't have variables and person class contain variable name with a default value null, and student class variable SNO with a default value 0. And now new keyword, call the constructor. Okay, what is the purpose of constructor? Is it for creating object or is it for initializing object? Student class constructor initialize which class members? Student class. Then how to initialize parent class? Understand my doubt? I'm not asking question, I'm expressing my doubt. New keyword call student class constructor. New keyword call student class constructor. Student class contain class student contain constructor for initializing student class non-static variable SNO equal to some 101. SNO equal to 101. Then who will initialize person class non-static variable? Student class constructor responsible for initializing student class. Then who will initialize person class non-static variable? Person class. Student class, person class, person class. Try to answer now. How I am writing this class? Class student extends person, open bracket. Inside we have student number and we have constructor student no parent. Inside we have what statement? Super. By default, in every constructor, we have one special statement called what? Super call. After the super call, we placed SNO equal to 101 will be there. By default, compiler software implicitly add one special statement called what? Super call. This super call will call super class constructor. Now we have already predefined class called what? Person. Open bracket. Inside this class person, we have string name and we have no param constructor, open bracket, and some name equal to double quotes HK. I have written assume. Close this constructor. Now understand now. What happened here? You call your class constructor, you call your subclass constructor, control come to subclass with the current object reference what? 1010. And then it will go to constructor. This keyword is created here with reference what? 1010. It is pointing to which memory? So student class memory, because this is a what type? Student class. Then next statement what? Super call. Then super call will go to super class constructor. It will go to super class constructor. Then super class constructor also implicitly contain what? Super of. In every constructor, by default, the first statement is what? Super. And then following by your logic will be there. Name equal to double quotes, HK will be there. Then this super call is calling a person class super class. Who is the person class super class? Object. Object class you created a by default available. And then inside object class constructor, do you have any logic? No logic. Observe now the flow. What happened here? First step, variable created. Student S1 variable created. Second step, new keyword creates student class object, creates a student class object. First memory, start from where now? Start from student person object and return memory allocated from superclass to subclass name SNO. Then third step, it is calling constructor by passing current object reference 1010. Then control will go into what you call student class constructor with 1010 as a current object, reference as a argument, and it is stored inside this keyword pointing to student class memory. Then next step, it is called super call. When you call super, control will go to super class with the current object reference. Why? Person class constructor must initialize name variable in this object only, na? So by passing current object reference, it will come to where now? Person class. In person class also, what happened? This keyword memory created with the current object reference what? 1010. Okay. Now tell me, this is the ninth step. Bolo. Now this 1010 will pointing to which memory? Student class or person class? Person class. Why? In person class, this variable is what type? Person. That's pointing to person class memory 10th step. And then 11th step, super call is happen. Now control is going to object class. In object class, control is called by passing what? 1010. Here also what is created? This keyword. Inside this keyword, what is stored? 1010. That means all three places same object reference is stored, but pointing memory is what? Different. It is pointing to object class memory. In object class, you don't have any logic. Coming back to subclass. Coming back to subclass 11, this is 12 and then 13 pointing to it. And then following by control is coming back 14. Then here now the logic executed 15 name null replace with what? HK. Okay, and then next control is coming back to student class constructor 16, and here next logic executed 17 SNO equal to 101, 0 replace with 101. After constructor execution completed, control will return back to main method. New keyword, return the reference 1010, stored inside the variable 19, stored inside S1 variable, pointing to which class? Student class 20. So totally 20 steps are there. Understand? And who is playing important role connecting subclass to superclass? Super call. Is the super call you are placing or automatically placed? In which class super call is not available? Object class, because object doesn't have super class. Right? Take heading super keyword. Super keyword. The keyword super. The keyword super is used for calling. Is used for calling super class apostrophe s. Super class. Number one, constructor. Number two, fields, 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 in bracket, static, non-static variables. Number three, what? Number three, what else we can call? Methods. Static, non-static methods. Expand. Super keyword has two forms. Super keyword has two forms. Number one, super parenthesis semicolon. Super, look at the screen. Parenthesis, super parenthesis semicolon. Second, super dot, 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 no, dot. It's not full stop, dot. Okay, na? Super dot dash semicolon. Dash means place, either you can write variable or method. Down right. The super parenthesis call. The super parenthesis call. The super parenthesis call is used for calling superclass constructor in a subclass all constructors in a subclass all constructors for initializing superclass non-static variables in this subclass object. Super call has two syntaxes. First one, super parenthesis semicolon arrow for calling superclass no parent constructor. Superclass no parent constructor. Second, super of arg. Super parenthesis arg, arg. Arg ante arguments. Super parenthesis open, arg parenthesis close. Super of arg. Arrow for calling superclass parameterized constructor. Superclass parameterized constructor. For example, super of 5 calls super of 5. Of ante round bracket. Of 5 semicolon calls which constructor? Which parameter? Which parameter of superclass? Super of 5 calls which constructor? A parameter. Parameter constructor, which parameter? Int param constructor. Second, super of 6.7 calls which constructor? Double param constructor. Super of double quotes A. Calls string param constructor. Understand? Hmm. Below program shows. Below program shows calling superclass no param constructor. Calling superclass no param constructor. Write down program as it is with arrow marks, step numbers, everything. Done. Next item. Below program shows calling parameterized construct. Calling parameterized constructor. Tell me what is the flow here. Write down along with me. Write down along with me. Student S1 equal new student of 101 comma HK. First what happened? S1 variable create. Second step, new keyword. What new keyword will do? Creates student class memory. Write down. While writing, you tell. Next, person. Next, reference. All these three memories are called student object. So, top to bottom, memory allocation complete. Now, bottom to down, top to bottom now, non-static variables memory allocation will start. In person class, name variable memory created with default value null. Next, SNO variable is created with default value 0. 1, 2, 2. Then new keyword called constructor by passing how many values? New keyword will call constructor by passing how many values? Everyone. How many? Again, look and tell. Online students, how many values? 3 values. What is the first value? This is not value, this is parameter. What is 1010? Current object reference. What is? And next, 101 HK. Don't watch, write down. From here, control will go to which class? Class student extends person. Inside we have private as int SNO. We have constructor which take how many values? 2. Int SNO, string name. Tell me now. Are these two values should store in my object in a student class? Constructor taken 2 values. SNO should store in student class. Name should store in person class. So you have to write like this. Person of name. The name value will be passed to person class. And here this dot SNO equal to SN construct. Close this. and write display method. Void display. Tell me, I want to print first SNO. Name value is available in my class or parent class. Then how can I print parent class value? Call parent class method. How to call parent class method? Super dot display. Super call is for calling super class constructor. Super dot is used for calling super class method. Person class, how can you write? Class, person. Are you extending to any class? No. Then inside we have private string name. Person of only one parameter, string name. Next, implicitly super call for calling object class constructor. This dot name equal to name. Close this construct. And void display open bracket system dot out dot println of name. Close method, close class. And background we have class object, no param constructor, which is empty. In your system, will you type class object? Can you explain the flow of execution of this statement? Step number 3, calling constructor. Step number 3, step number 3, step number 3. Here onwards, you try flow. Here, how many parameters created? First one, this, which contain. Next, yes name, sorry, name. This variable pointing to student class member. Tell me now. What next happened? Super of name. Super of name going to super class person. With how many values? Two values. What is the first one? First one, 10 is our own value. What is JVM point of view? Current object, not this. This is a parameter. Current object. What? Current object reference. Today, this is the third time I am saying current object reference and argument HK. Current object reference and argument HK passed. How many parameters created here? 2. This 10 and parameter name HK. This is super call you placed automatically placed by compiler. Bolo, automatically placed by compiler. This must be placed by developer and it is placed by compiler. No param constructor call super no arg automatically placed by compiler. You no need to place. Then what happened? It will call object class construct by passing how many arguments? Here super call will call object class constructor by passing how many arguments? Only one. By passing only one and it is stored inside. What is that one passed? Order? Which object reference? Current object reference. Stored in this pointing to object class. After that, tell me now. Presently, only constructor calling completed. Initialization not yet started. Did you notice? Initialization done from subclass to superclass or superclass to subclass or? Subclass to superclass. Without your father, mother, how can you work? First, who should be exist? Parent, then only child. Memory allocation is from parent to child. Initialization is also from parent to child. From there, control is coming back. Now, the statement executed. Name stored in this null replace with HK. Then control come back to the subclass constructor. Now the statement executed. SNO stored in this dot SNO. 0 replace with 1 or 2. Memory allocated, memory initialized from superclass to subclass. But tell me, calling is from superclass to subclass or subclass to superclass? Calling is from memory allocation and initialization from. After this constructor execution completed, control will go back to main. New keyword store reference 1010. Stored in S1 point. Then you call S1 dot display. Tell me, if you call S1 dot display, what happened? If you call S1 dot display, what happened? by passing uh, current object reference, control will go to display method. Here what happened? This parameter memory created with the current object 1010 pointing to this memory. Then SOPL and SNO. What is the output printed? 101. Next, super dot display. Super call, super keyword call, super class display method by passing current object reference. Stored here also in this keyword. Pointing to person class memory. Then logic, name value displayed. This is the output 101 H. In this program, we have learned both super call and super dot. All students understood? Any doubts? Everybody got that? Super call used for calling super class constructor. Super dot is used for calling super class methods and variables. In a subclass, this keyword pointing to subclass memory. In a super class, this keyword is pointing to super class memory available in this subclass object. Because this variable type in subclass is subclass type, this variable type in superclass is superclass type. Done? Understood? Two programs understood? No doubts? Okay. I'll give third program. Tell me. Write down. Is below program compiled? Is below program compiled? In the program. That's all. Compile them. Online students, compile or not compile? Why? Here, private. దీనికి దానికి సంబంధం. Are you calling that variable here? No. This variable private, not private, doesn't matter. Not compiled because why? In a person class, we do not have default constructor or no param constructor. Why do we need? For super call placed inside class student by compiler in default constructor. Okay. In every class, what did you write? In every class, compiler plays super call in every constructor, na? Observe, this code is converted by compiler as class student extends person open bracket inside compiler place what? Student no param. What is this constructor? Default constructor. By default, what it will place? Super call. This is the class generated by compiler. This is a class generated by compiler. Inside this class, because of this is super call, in super class, no param constructor is not there. So it come back and throw error here. What is the rule? For creating a subclass from an existing class, we must call the available constructor in subclass This is the rule. CGC, compiler generated code. This is DWC, developer written code. Online, understood? So tell me, inheritance is completed by just a extends keyword, extends plus super call. Whenever you see extends keyword, Then can you confirm inheritance completed? In subclass, you must verify supercall matching constructor available in superclass. In a superclass, if no param constructor is not available, you must call the existing constructor. If it is a parameterized, you must call explicitly parameterized. Otherwise, compiler throw error. Completed up? For developing inheritance, we must consider extends keyword plus supercall. How to solve this compile time error? I want to solve this compile time error. I want to compile this program. Presently it is error, right? I want to compile this class. I want to make the student a subclass of person. What to do? You have to call the superclass constructor by your own. How? By using super of, by giving some name. Where, in which constructor? The constructor in the subclass must be parameter constructor, can be no param also. Can be parameter, can be no parameter. The rule is what? Super of string must be there. Where you are writing inside, your wish. It can be no param constructor, string param constructor. Right. For solving, third point, for solving above compile time error. In a student class, comma, in student class, we must place or we must define either no param or param constructor comma inside this constructor we must place super of string arg as shown below. Completed. Tell me how to write. Class student extends person. ఇప్పుడు ఏం చేయాలి మీరు? Whenever you see extends person, must see the down code in the student class or immediately go to person. You are in exam hall. You read extends person. Then what will you do? You read further code in the class student, immediately go to person class. In person class, which constructor available, you have to verify. What constructor available? Parameterized. Then come down and see. In this class, which super call available, check. In this class, which is supercall available. If it is a empty class, which is supercall available? If it is a empty class, which is supercall available? Non-parameterized supercall. Immediately go and choose compile time error. Immediately choose compile time error. Move to the next bit. Don't waste time. For trapping you, they will give a question. For trapping you, they will give a question. Don't be trapped. A simple point. Extensor, go. Extends means the combination keyword supercall. In super class, parameterized constructor available? Yes. Then come here, parameterized constructor call statement available? No. Choose compile time. Okay, now tell. Here I am writing something like this. Student, bolo. Now program compiler. Compiler, not compile. Why? By default, compiler plays what statement? Supercall. Supercall not matched with parameterized constructor. Again, you choose what? Compile time error and come out. Okay, now? Next, I'm writing one more. Definitely give wrong answer. Student of string name. Now compiler. Compiler not compile. Compile, na? Online students. Compile, right? Parameter string, parameter string. String matched. Parameter matched. What you have to see? Parameter, super call to parameter. What super call available? What is the super call available? No arg super call. No arg super call matched with string param? No. So don't see parameter. Okay, parameter matching you should not see. What you should see? Super call and parameter matching you have to see. Okay, this also still compiled. Now I am writing student of super of double quotes HK. Now compiled. Now compiled. Yes or no? Yes, now compiled. Why? You are watching parameter to parameter, super call to parameter. Right. Only this one you write arrow mark. Or if it is in a different page you are writing, write complete program. If same page, write and write arrow mark. If different page, class person, class student, both you write. Completed? I'll give one more program. Tell me, write down. Is below code compiled? Next question. Is below code compiled? Is below code compiled? Is below code compiled? Class person, class person, private person, class student extends person. Is it compiled? Compiled or not compiled? 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 Can you call any member available in the superclass in subclass? Can we call any member of superclass in subclass? No. Only what members you can call? Non-private members. What is it? This class converted as what? Class student extends person open bracket. Compiler will add default constructor with super call. Right? Then student, this default constructor internal super call calling person class no param constructor. Person class no param constructor is what constructor? And it leads to compile to subclass. That's why I'm saying again and again, extends plus super call both consider. Just by writing extends, inheritance not completed. Super call also compiled, then only inheritance completed. Both you have to consider. What is the statement you have to write? Inheritance possible or not possible? How to solve this compile timer? Previous compile timer you solved by placing super of argument call. Now, here inheritance possible or not possible? Not possible. Why? Super class constructor declare as a private. Super class is saying, I won't allow any subclasses, get out. Okay, now I don't allow child, I don't allow subclass. But you are saying, no, 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 I want to be your child. No, no, Rabhav, I don't allow. So what happened? Here, subclass is not possible. The only option, remove that extends a person. Okay, now write down. If a class contains private constructor, non-visible constructor, inheritance is not possible. This is rule number 2. Previous one is rule number 1. You must call available constructor. If the constructor is private, you cannot call inheritance not possible. So just extends keyword doesn't develop inheritance. Extends plus super call both together generates inheritance. Done. Please read all points once. Totally 4 programs we written. Please go through once. I will show you one important question. Written test exam question, direct question. Without this topic, your interview will not be completed. This entire discussion you have to remember only one sentence. In all constructors, compiler by default places super no arg call. For calling, no param or default constructor available in the superclass. If we wanted to call parameterized constructor, then you should place super of argument explicitly. Third point, if superclass contains private constructor, you cannot create subclass from that class. Just 3 points. Right? This program. What is the output from below program? This is a direct program in the exam. Written test exam. In every company, this question will be. Completed. What is the output? What is the output? Passer, did you write program? What is the answer? Read rules. Read again rules, you'll find out. So the output of this program compile time error. Identify at least why. What I said, always you have to read program from top to bottom. Class A, no problem. Parameterized constructor, no problem. SOPL. Class B, extends A. Extends. Extends means first you have to verify what constructor available in this class. What constructor available? Int pair. Then come to subclass constructor. What super call available? No super call. No super call means calling no param constructor or default constructor. In this class, default constructor is available? No. Then super call will call which constructor? Hence here we will get compile time. Understand that? How to solve this compile time error? We must place super call by placing some int value 5 or by passing the parameter x. You must explicitly place super call by super of 5, by super of 5 or super of x. Which one is recommended? X is recommended. If I write 5, always 5 is passed. X is recommended. If I write x, what is the output flow? No compile time error. A is compiled successfully. B is compiled successfully because super of x matching constructor available. Then main method. Object is created. A, sorry, B, A, object. Reference 10 and doesn't have any non-static variables. Doesn't have any non-static variables. The new keyword call int param constructor. Int param constructor calling super of x. Then what first message is coming on console? Hi. Then after control is coming back. Then next message is coming what? Hello. And then control is coming to main method. Then next statement display. Display method. What is printed? Hover. Okay. So this is the flow. Super call never ignore. When you see extends keyword, immediately you have to find out super call matching is there or not. Okay. That's it about super keyword related points. Next, rule on, right, next, rule on placing super call. Rule on placing super call. Always we must place it as a first statement in the constructor. Always we must place it as first statement in the constructor. Always we must place it as a first statement in the constructor. Because superclass non-static members must be, because superclass non-static members must be initialized first. Because superclass non-static members must be initialized first. Identify compile time errors in the below code. Identify compile time errors in the below code. Write down as it is and identify errors. Completed? Identify errors. First one is the constructor. Inside constructor, super call allowed as a first statement. Correct. Second constructor, wrong. Third constructor, right. Super call must be first statement inside constructor. Can I place more than once super call? Should be the first statement. First super call, right? Second super call is wrong. Next, fourth constructor. First statement I told, not first line. First statement is semicolon. Semicolon completed, one statement completed. So here, first one right, second one wrong. Inside method, super call allowed or not allowed? Inside method, super call is allowed or not allowed? Method executed at the time of object creation or after object creation? After object creation, how can initialize? Wrong. Last one, is it a constructor or method? How can I say? Return type. So it is also error. Done? Done, right? Super keyword is allowed only inside construct. Super call is allowed only inside construct. It is not allowed in, it is not allowed in non-static block and in, it is not allowed in non-static block and also not allowed in, it is not allowed in non-static block and not allowed in non-static method. Non-static method. Okay, now? So with this, we completed super call. All the points, I will notes, all these slides, which I have explained now, all these slides again I will upload, requesting everyone to read these notes again, practice again these slides. Okay, now? Entry questions. What is the output from below program entry questions? So if you don't practice, you will fail in the interview. Okay, when you practice? Today. Now who will practice control flow statements? Today class is control flow statements. Today night is control flow statement. You have to practice tomorrow before you come to the class anytime. After you wake up, before come to the class, all these slides you have to revise. No need to write notes. Just play these slides in the Google Classroom, read and understand. Just remember and come. Understand? Shall I believe that you will complete and come? So that tomorrow class will be easy. Tomorrow I will teach super dot. Super call completed. Tomorrow I will teach super dot. So these are the 11 points completed. Okay, just revise these 11 points and come. Tomorrow we'll learn super dot and very interesting points are. Thank you. That's all for today class.